Hold on, I can't hear you. What's going on here? Hold on, is my shit unplugged? No. No, let me check my sound settings. Everything is on. I don't see why I can't hear you. There we go. Now I hear something.
Because I took this camera off and then it mutes me. But I used the video that used me is the sound, but it for some reason, I don't know. Anyways, you'll get to see. Yeah, this is 8%. My phone went 1% today and died. I was like, I'm living on the edge. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Allergies decided to kick my fucking ass today.
They're bad. So in Northern California, Sunday, it was 25 plus degrees colder than it is today. Like it jumped in one day 20 degrees and then it's just slowly getting in the 85s, 86. And I'm just like, oh, come on.
Let me see what ours was today. Because it wasn't that bad. We're probably, we had a high of 65 today.
Oh, see, that was like a Sunday. That was Sunday. And now it's like summer.
Yeah, no, we're staying in the mid 60s to early 70s this whole week in our area. So a little nicer weather, not as sweat your ass off.
I know. I was like, okay, I have a sweater on, but now I'm like, okay.
I'm surprised you're not dying.
I pretty much am. Yeah, there's no like real slow temperature
There's no
rise
weather
either.
transition.
It's straight like 70 degrees in the morning. And then like, it's like, wait a minute. So yeah. So if everyone joining, I know I usually just pop on. I don't set a schedule because I give my family more of myself, and then I'll be like, guys, I'm taking a hour for me and just popping on. But I told them I already said it, so you guys got to go find something to do because I'm in my living room. Yeah, I'm like right in the way between kitchen, living room, and you could see the full background. They're like, dude, it's like, where's my she shed? Where's my art studio? Because my husband wants to build it instead of buy it. He's like, it's cheaper. And I'm like, where are the plans?
I used to go to architectural school, so what the fuck?
Oh, he's a great builder and everything. He just likes to tinker with his own things. Yep. He's like, I'm not gonna use this. But I was like, you put me in
it. Focused on his own projects.
Yeah. He's a great guy. I'm actually lucky to have him for this long. We've been married for 20 years. So it's like right when he goes like, yeah, I'll just build the shed. And I was like, oh, that's right, you can. Like, I totally forget his attributes. I'm like, man, you're just over there annoying.
Never mind construction handy.
I know. Or like electrical. Any problem, plumbing. Oh yeah, the sprinkler. Oh, let's just dig ditches and make our own sprinkler system. Here I'm just like, whatever, that's not useful. It is.
Except when you need it and you completely forget that he can do it.
Like, man, I need a handy guy. Yeah, I know. He told me, because we went to Monterey, and for over a year, I kept having to feel this one tire. It would just go slightly low. But we went to Monterey, and there was like this, it says bump ahead, and you go dong. And I'm driving, I'm like, that's not a warning. That's not a bump either. That's a slam into cement. Well, it was like, where is it? It was like this long of a nail, bent, even like rusty.
Oh,
and I took it. He's like, yeah, it keeps getting flat, so go ahead and take it in. I get there and I'm like, My husband sent me here about a tire. I totally go blank going,
I'm just here
it's
because
this
I
one
was
I can
told to
point.
be.
And then they're like, they check all 4 tires, and then they're like, well, 2 of them are 5 years old, and 2 of them are only 2 years old. And they're like, would you like all 4? And I was like, this is my husband's department. I'm just here for 1 tire. So I texted him, I'm like, get here. Because I'm about to buy 4 tires, and then I'm going to get in trouble. Why'd you buy 4 tires? Like the salesman. Yeah. I was like, I'm in the wrong department.
Yeah, I don't think I've changed my tires yet since I got my new car.
I leave it all to him, but he's like, yeah, you should go get the check. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So anyone joining, this is Holly, Scientology geek. See, I always like mess it up. How do you say
Everybody
it?
does. Don't worry about it. Call me whatever you want. Call me Holly. Call me geek. Call me Scientology geek. I don't give a shit. Call me fucking pissy Ron creator.
Yep, and that's why I'm like, doesn't matter what pronoun you want to use or what. I'm here. So she does deep dives too, and she's a protester in
New Haven.
New Haven. Oh, you are in Connecticut. Okay.
Well, I go to Connecticut to protest. I don't live in Connecticut.
Got it.
I would love to go to Boston, though. That would be fun. I haven't been there yet.
I wish I lived in the smaller states, so then it could be like, hey, I'm
Everything's
here and
closer.
I'm there. I'm like in California, and it takes 9 hours to get to Southern California.
Takes me 90 minutes to get to New Haven and about the same time to get to Boston.
That's crazy.
But I keep saying I can't shut up about this. I still would love to go back to Clearwater, Florida. That shit was fucking awesome.
Well, see, and if I didn't have all my responsibilities and not completely cross the universe, it feels like, but I would totally be there and be like, set up some sort of residence. Hey, can I room with you? And like set up a whole mailings, everything.
I was thinking about if I ever do protest again, whenever that will be, I want to set up like a little table and 2 chairs with my little e-meter out there just to sit in front of the org with it and just be like, if you want to know what the craziness is like, let me show you.
Exactly, because
and see how they would respond. Would they freak out over that? Would they try to steal the e-meter from me?
Yep, set up a little book, like they're, hey, you want to look at what the craziness of what they want to sell inside, but you have to be on the higher levels just to even get
I'll give you the free version.
Right, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Just sit there and ask them the same question over and over and over and
I'll be trailing the one, especially the pins that kept moving around. I was like, I still want to go there and be like, dude, what's up with this one address? Why are you here when you're supposed to be over there? And what's so important over there that you have a fake picture of? Just set up right there and be like, waiting for people to come to work.
I was going to say, what place is that they keep shifting?
Oh, several. On Osceola Avenue, they keep moving pens around, and they put for not the planning one, but it's the big building on Court Street. They put 311 South Osceola Avenue as the actual address on Court Street. I'm like, you don't even belong there. Get off of there. And then also, for some reason, 500 Court Street
is LA, right?
No, that's Clearwater.
Oh, that's why.
No, Clearwater. I so want to troll in Clearwater.
Oh, Osceola.
Like,
okay.
People are freaking nuts.
Okay,
and thinking this is okay. Have you seen the video?
I'm looking like right now. I'm like looking at Court Street, trying to figure out what part of. I found the Fort Harrison right off of South Fort Harrison Avenue.
Court Street is right by Flag. So Court Street is literally where court is, like the judicial system and everything, and the planning committee. Several different buildings that belong to Clearwater. It's government buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Flag, the back of Flag, and that Garden Avenue that they're trying to sell.
Yep, South Garden Ave.
Yes. 500 Court, they're trying to put as one of those empty lots. That's not Court. And then one of the buildings is 311 South Escala. That's not Escala.
Uh-huh.
It's around the corner. It's up the other way. That whole street is a hot mess. They do not want me pinning blocks of. They own this whole block. So, but yeah. No, I made this live to talk about my 1-year anniversary of getting a trespass. I didn't even enter their property. It was my first live. So I started only doing videos in at the end of March, but I wasn't live, but I was down there. And so my anniversary for YouTube is back in March. And I was like, that's nothing. I was just trying to figure out my life as a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
But the literally this piece of paper I've held on for a year, wanting to frame, but I wanted to wear it too. Like, oh, this is priceless.
It's your badge of honor.
It was within 5 minutes of my life from the car garage, to the doors, finding this event. So I was told about this event by Intuitive Inquirer.
Okay.
Kelly. She goes down to LA, so she doesn't really cover the org anymore because they threatened a personal restraining order because of how she protested against certain staff. So it got personal, and I'm like, you can't make this personal. I say hi, and then I giggle because they look at me like, what the hell is hi? Have a great day. Yeah, I even say on the live, don't try to human traffic anyone today. The lady called the cops on me. And in the video, I don't know if you want to see it. Do you want to see it? It's like the first 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. It's embarrassing, and I noticed my voice is annoying. So sorry for that.
I don't think it will be.
All right. Hey guys. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just learning. I have no clue what I'm doing. Sounds about right. Let's see. Oh. At least 1 minute of video is needed to start a highlight. Oh, I don't need a highlight.
Quick question before you keep the video going.
Okay.
What was the event?
I have something up and I can't get it. She said she saw fires.
Hold on, you gotta pause it because your audio is cutting in and out from your microphone.
Hang on. All right.
What?
So the event wasn't specified. This is after DOA came up to Sacramento, or San Francisco first and then Sacramento. And so a bunch of people showed up. Okay. And I still didn't have 50 people. Yeah, I was doing it that way because I didn't know there was another way with StreamYard or anything like that. I just thought through YouTube, I need a certain amount of hours, clips, whatever. So I was trying to do it that way. The event was shown on, I guess, brochures that she saw, but I never saw them. And so she told me, and because she couldn't be there that day, I said, I will show up. So here I'm in the car parking lot, and then you hear me talking. I'm trying to find this event. There was no event. I got trespassed. I know. So my first day streaming by myself in an alleyway, and here I 3 cops showed up on bikes, like bicycles.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So it's just weird.
Moderators. Okay. All right, I can see chat. All right. Let's figure out my office.
My office was my trunk.
All right. So guys, I don't know where the event is, but I parked. It took me a while to park. So kind of want to figure out what this event is about before I bring out signs. Come back. So this is going to be quite interesting. So let's figure this out. I'm in Sacramento. April 30th is an event. It's not on their website, nor is it have any closures or street closures of any sort. So not sure if this is just for, let's see. Yeah, I'm live! So let's see what weirdos are here today. Let's see. Let me turn it around. How do I turn it around? Haha. It's bright today.
By the way, I walked up 2 flights of stairs, so I'm out of breath.
Okay. Let's see. Got a lot of construction going on that has nothing to do with the scientists. Hey, anybody want a way to happiness? You know, this saves lives. All right. So they have everything open, pretty much. I mean, that's just the cafe. Let's see. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Or can you hear me, Will Pocket? Lori's not at the desk. Someone else is. Let's see. I have no idea what time the event is. Oh, yay! Thank you.
So let me talk about the area. So there's a hotel next to it that has nothing to do with Scientology. And we are literally, do you guys see that? Not the tallest building on the left, like way down the street, but that little dome. That's the Capitol where the Sacramento governor works. So it's like 3 blocks down the street. 3 or 4. Can you hear me, Holly? Okay. Making sure. So when they bought this building, because this is a historic building, this used to be a hotel before they bought it. The bus stop wasn't there. The city decided a bus stop needed to be here. So the first time I was just like filming, I was like, this is human trafficking. You're just bringing people. So there's 3 entrances to this building. It's a 57,000 square foot building. And hi, everybody coming in. So the one side where there was like this car garage type thing lifted up, that's the hotel. And they have the dumpster there. They have everything. And they lift it up for vehicles. So it gets loud, the vent. And plus they were fixing the roof. On Flory is one of the staff members that's been on staff for years. And used when Davis, California, it's in between, it's a little more in towards the coast of Davis from Sacramento, but not all the way towards like it's closer to Sacramento than it is San Francisco. But Davis is a college area and everything. That mission closed. So everybody from this org either is a part of Fair Oaks, tons of missions that have failed. So I've learned a lot about these people before I even started going live. Where's the button?
Oh, look, no more times when, all day service, because that's a huge ass lie. Hello. Okay. There really isn't anybody here. The event was for April 30th, so those signs, I don't know if you can
See, that's where I was standing. I was not by the door.
So those signs, 2 signs. Oh, thank you so much, Will's hoodie pocket. So yeah, being stared at. But yeah, I needed more screen time, and then now I could go live. This is my first live, so I'm excited to not be alone. Because this, the creepers are coming out last time. So, oh, that's a reflection. Oh, she's making a phone call, guys. Yep, I'm here. I'll just wave. Oh, geez, now you can't really see. Hold on. She made a phone call. She alerted that someone is videoing. She's gonna drink her coffee and act like no one. Where? Oh gosh, where am I? Hold on. Sorry. Oh, it is. Okay. Yep. She's back on the phone. Yep. Hi.
See, this is where she's calling.
Just your friendly reminder of don't human traffic. Okay. So she's alerting, so screen, shades, curtains, whatever tech they want to use will go down probably. I'm situated to be here all day, so whatever time the event, I'll be here. So just how many times do I need to walk in circles to be on guard, on alert? Okay. So she seems to be the only one downstairs, and everybody's probably on course or doing some weird shit in the hotel. And they decided to make a bus stop after this opened, so that's cool. We're just gonna at least use this space for people. I mean, they might as well make a whole bus station right here. I mean, I know it's a historical building, but make it anything but. Anything but this place. So, alright. Oh, hey, I got 6 people in here. Woohoo! Welcome, guys. This is my first live. Event's supposed to start. I'm in Sacramento. Event's supposed to start any time today. Oh, she looked. Oh my gosh, she didn't keep her TRs in. Okay, I'm trying to get a better view, guys. She already called on me. She already alerted. Hello. I'm doing good. So. Oh, but no one is downstairs whatsoever. We were just passing by to go to the bus stop. Completely sad. Oh, thanks, Patty. Hey, C-News. Yeah, I got it live. Yeah. So, yeah, we're trying to figure out when the event is. So I have signs, art, a whole art office in my trunk. So wherever I need to be stationed, whether it was at the state capitol park here, but there was no request for any closure or closures being a street or occupy this area. So I don't even know what the event is, but I don't know if you can see it from here, but that stand, that easel, has a something with flag, on top, and then it was like April 30th event. So Bernie was calling everybody and seeing who was showing up for communications, and we got thanks, Will's Hoodie Pocket. I don't even know how to shorten that. Thanks, Pocket. And Patty, thank you so much. Yeah, this is not about the clicks for me. This is really more about getting more documentation and just evidence for any case that this is a behavioral pattern. So anything can help. So thank you so much for helping me go live, because when you're down here in this weird alleyway, and now that I want to be kind, but people are crawling out of the cracks of the cement, so and I don't want to be by myself and then my boob attacks somebody. So beware of the boobies. Okay. There's really no activity, guys. None. Let me see if there's any, 10. Are they...
So, guys, where did you see a trespass? I even said to the police when they come 25 minutes later, after this, I'm like, I have video proof. I did not go on their property. I never went in. I never was asked to leave or asked, to not cross this line. Nobody talked to me. I even said hello. In a little bit, I cross again, and I wish somebody to have a great day. They were going up the elevator, so I'll show that, and then I'll show when the police arrive, because I start describing the construction. Because there was so much that day. So let me speed it up for you. Not subtitles. Playback speed. Let's do 1 point.
Recruiting up here. I don't know, guys. But I know a lot of families have a lot of money thrown into that org. I don't see anybody. So this is where the NBA plays, the Kings. So you see a lot of flags promoting the Kings, and then concerts play here. Nope. I don't see any Scientology. Because they're scientists. And even though it's temporary parking or no parking, because all the signs are out for the hotel to use this space, he's gonna chill there.
So they're not supposed to park there, but they do. This is what the construction was for. They were going to repaint the handicap in this area where this white car is, and on the other side where you're closer to the receptionist desk is a white lane where you can just what is it called? Oh my gosh. You can park for a short amount of time and then go pick up food or something. And I've only seen one person do it, but usually people visiting the org would park in the white zone, but drop-off zone or something.
So, see it. It's going to be closed Thursday. So I'm trying to figure out if it's closed Thursday. Excuse me. Do you know if this is closed for Thursday because of the hotel?
Oh, I have no idea.
No idea? Okay.
It was not here when I pulled up the park. So.
Did they pull it out? Or, oh, okay. Because I know everything's going down there, so you can't park down there. So I didn't know. Okay. What? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So this guy doesn't really want to get out of the car, guys. He started to, but now he's on his phone. Like he got back in, shut the door, and he's like, nope, not today, Satan. Like, if you're just public and you're already on all these videos, why not one more? It's not like I have 50 people with me and could be called a gang or assembly, like some sort of alarming people against my religion or whatever. But it's just little old me. I'm a middle-aged woman. So, I don't know. Oh, someone ripped this. Someone didn't like this. Someone didn't like the book. Maybe ran it over. Be worthy of trust. Well, Scientology. Keep your word once given. Ha! Unless it's an acceptable truth for the greater good. I mean, come on now. Remember, this book stops wars, guys. Alright, this guy's still sitting in a car, guys. He ain't moving. Good morning. This guy, I'm so grateful for not running me over. Actually being cautious. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. What is a roadbed? Hold on. Wait a minute. That's weird. My book that would save me is ripped, guys. I'm a little worried here. Okay, if others do not help safeguard and improve the environment, the way to happiness could have no roadbed to travel on it at all. Well, that is the dumbest thing, two sandwiches. It's the path on which you lay a road. It could be a trail. It could be a dirt road, you know, where so many people have traveled on that no grass is traveling or on traveling. The grass is going to travel. And, you know, like before you say, okay, no, I get it, but it's went to get out, then got back in, got on his phone. They already pulled the shades. Oh, they pulled all the shades, guys. Yep, he got out. No, he didn't. He's here. They already pulled all the shades, Kelly. I didn't put my phone on any of my stand or anything. Oh, look, this was not here. I'm just by myself, Kelly. I said good morning, have a great day as people went to session, but she's putting it up. It's okay. They're not gonna like my human traffic.
They just put up the religious services sign. Did you see that? It wasn't there before.
What is it? What I was about to say, what fucking service, like, what was the sign about specifically? I know you just said religious services, but what does that mean? Was it like religious services in progress? Oh, go fuck yourselves,
Yeah.
you
So
fucking scumbags.
they put this up when DOA was there and everything, but not so when this is what I mean. Cops are already called, but I don't know. This sign, to read it, I had to step forward. So cops already called saying I trespass, or whatever, or I'm blocking. The real call was I am blocking people from entering the building.
No one has tried.
No, and that's what I told the cops. You'll see. So this is just me trying to find an invisible event. Like, I don't know what, it's like, okay, I'm ready to bring out my sign, but I didn't even have a sign. I am just looking to set up where my chair goes, where, like, what am I doing? I have my coffee. And by the way, I left my coffee right by that little stair thing. And someone took my lid and my straw.
But they didn't take the coffee.
No, and I had to dump it because I don't know what the fuck someone did. After I talked to the cops, I noticed it. I was like, okay, who steals the lid and the straw?
Someone probably pissed in your coffee.
I was like, this is the weirdest day.
Oh, so there is no lunchtime. Or
there's no lunchtime. There are ongoing. Yeah, I sound like a chipmunk.
Have a great time in session. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm being nice. I'm being super nice, and they act like I have a disease or something. Good morning. Guys, he totally did not want to look in my direction, so I don't know if he's a sciento. The person in the car, he got out. He finally got out. Oh, he has a little Yoshi. Aw. We could have talked about Yoshi.
Yes.
I could have asked him what makes him like the blue color. Is it just blue? Are you clear on your rights regarding their spiritual sessions? Yes. I believe so, Kelly. If I know what you mean. Yeah, Kelly, whatever you want me to call you, lady, dude, chick. Oh, me, got it. Wait, oh, Will's, okay, I am here. It's okay, they're gonna start putting arts and craft over, so it's gonna look really crappy for their event. Like, look like it's boarded up. You might as well put wood there, guys, just wood. Like, just start hammering it closed. Put a padlock. It will work. It will work with the decor. I mean, they sucked the life out of this building. Nope. So this is the most people I've seen so far. 3 people. 3 people. Yep. It's the masses, guys. They're so busy with their classrooms and counseling. They don't even take lunches, breaks. They have so many people coming in and out. It's so ridiculous, guys. And by the way, I was kidding. There's nothing going on here. Sometimes the event, I think it's just scientos because they didn't put it out to the public. I have no clue if it's trying to body route or just, try to a fundraiser. No clue because it's Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. But that was pretty funny. She was looking me up and down, describing what I was wearing, how I looked. I hope she got my mane. Because I have Irish hair, guys. I was born strawberry blonde, turned bleach white, I have a red undertone, and now that I'm in my, middle age area, it seems that I am getting white hair, like my grandmother, and hope they got that. This is a cult, right? Do you know anything about Scientology? Okay. They shut all the curtains just because I'm here. because I'm filming them. They don't want to be filmed. But you know how many cameras they have? So just don't go in there. Look online first if you want to find out what it's about. Have a great day.
And there's the religious
Turns
sign
gray
right
or it
there.
falls out. Well, that's the thing. If it falls out, I will have normal thick hair instead of its own entity. You guys want to see? You guys want to see what's happening right now? Yes, I have plenty to fall out. So even if I do this, half up, I got loads. You guys trying to talk to me. But yeah, no, I have Irish and Native American, Polish, German. I took those that genealogy. I thought I had to swap. You had to spit in that damn thing, and like a lot. Who wants to do that? But I did it just to see how much I got from each parent and ancestors. So there is nothing happening. Hi guys.
All right, let me go ahead.
Thursday, but it
So I
could not see. Yeah.
Oh, the cops have arrived. Hold on. Oh, I went way too far ahead. Okay. I start reading the thing. So I'm at 49 minutes into my first live. The top cut.
Great. People use that for brakes or paint. Wait. Sorry, I'm zoomed in. Do you guys know anything about the street closer? No? Okay, I just didn't know if it was because of that or because of that. Thank you. Still asking random workers, guys. In progress. How's it in progress if... Oh, I see. It's part of the actual sign. All right. Let's see. I'm totally reading this book. Not in order. Just random. Do not do anything illegal. Illegal acts are those which are prohibited by official rules of the law. Can you get a wider shot of the street closure? Yeah, of course.
Never
Sorry.
mind Scientology law.
So this thing is going on. They have a
We're
roof thing going on.
to the law, law
or some sort of, but they have nothing to do here. I saw these signs from afar. They canceled Thursday. I guess they canceled Thursday. I'm not sure what. No one knows what these signs are. Oh, hi. Are you here for me?
Yep.
Little homie. I was the nicest. I'm live. I have 6 people, and all I'm saying is, like, there's supposed to be an event today, and no one knows the time. And then I have this situation of, like, asking, okay, does anyone know why this is closed? I said, hi, good morning, have a great day. They shut their blinds, and then I've been doing passes, and then, just saying hi. That's it. I'm not yelling at anyone. I'm not accusing of anyone. I do have a sign for human trafficking and what their, what other things are, but I haven't brought it out. I'm just, I'm getting a wider shot right now because someone asked, can you get the road closure? Because it took me a while to find a parking. So.
I just.
Oh yeah, they park here all the time though, just to let you know. But yeah, I was just like, what's this? I know they had that going on, but can I ask what the call is for? Because no, there's nobody. When some people get, I'm live. You can even go on and like rewind it. I literally, and saying good morning to people. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I stood at the other side of the door because she was like coming up to the door, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And then she came up to the door and looked me up and down. And I was like, oh, make sure you tell them I need to lose weight. Like, I'm just making fun. And so I'm not. It's not on their website. It is on their board of where they, they kept calling the other day. So April 30th. I have no clue what time. There's no street closures. I'm not a member, and that's why. That's why they called. Just to let you know. I've been. There's a lot of second generations. Do you know anything about what's going on with Scientology? The people that were born into the church are the most abused, and so.
So just to let you know, it's mainly a plant because I wasn't just shooting them. I was being polite to people at this point. So I'm shooting down. I will mute because they want me to give some personal information because I have to sign this notice of trespass.
And they just keep doing the same practices. And so for me to find out that it's happening real time, this is like not a half documentary, but and down in LA, people are getting swatted just another person was barbecuing outside, and they had everything shut and playing music. Like, nope, we're not going to be a part of this. And when we're like, yeah, so we're a nice group. There's some people that will yell, just, you know, but we're not, it's not like we're yelling, you know, harmful things, or, you know.
I think I muted myself because they started asking other questions.
Their religious sign. Right. No, mine is how it affects me being out here. Because their sign literally says from 9:30 to 10 p.m. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Okay.
So they're really telling me the rules of how to protest, as long as I'm not yelling profanities or like hate. I'm allowed to where to stand and everything. I know you guys can barely hear, but they were really nice to me.
No. No, I mean, I was at their door, but I know I'm not welcome in because I have different views. And I even said it doesn't have to be this way. Like I said, you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No one was coming when I stood at the door, and I just moved on. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. There was someone parked here, and because he saw me with just walking by, going, okay, shade text going on, and then all of a sudden he got back in his car and got on his phone. So I know they don't want to be on film, even though they have these cameras and stuff. So I don't know. I don't get it. Because I even asked, it's just one camera. And I'm filming public. Yeah. Right. But if I'm filming outside in a public place, okay. But they could still say it's a threat. Okay. 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 I don't want to go in there. Yeah. I know they locked the door. They locked the door last week, and fire department was called out. So I just wanted to know, make sure that you guys know I'm out here. There's another girl that comes out here. We're both middle-aged women. We're just, oh, sure, Sarah May. No, that's fine. I have not done a thing. I mean, if they want to trespass me because I stepped underneath I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying not to get in trouble. Can I have your badge number? Oh, okay, perfect. I didn't know if that was the department. What's going on? Oh, perfect. Thank you. May, M-A-Y. Sarah. Yeah. Hang on. Ask for a bike ride, Tim? No, I'm not doing that.
So my chat got a little saucy and was like, ask for a bike ride. It's like, I don't fit in the back. But yeah, so one of the police officers went inside and two were talking to me outside, a female and a male, and they were telling me the rules of protesting. I had learned from 2020 when a police officer used excessive force on a black male. I know his name, but it really came up to Black Lives Matter, and so that huge group and like confronting the Capitol and everything. Chalk was even banned. Hi Peter. But yeah, chalk was banned and everything. But then finding out when DOA came, like a week or two before this, police officers are like, yeah, just don't use profanity or hate, because then it's good. Then it crosses the line. But it was technically in 2020 considered graffiti. First, yeah. So they're trespassing me. I didn't realize I said my name on. I already, like a year ago. I already because they have my paper too. But what's funny is I didn't show my ID or anything. I just gave them my name and my birth date, and that's all that's on this piece of paper. So I don't know how they're supposed to renew it, because guys, after this, it only lasts 12 months. Today they had to put it in, and and now I don't have a notice of trespass anymore. It only lasts a year. So that's good to know.
Yeah. That can be construed many ways.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Okay. Well.
And I'm just sharing that just so you know,
Right.
There's always two sides, and there's also a point of view.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, it's good to know. Yeah, I mean, I'll walk by, but I'm not gonna. I'd rather talk to the public, about everything that's going on and, you know, their point of view and what they know, because they're indoctrinated. They're really set in their way. So that's why I'm not one of those that just yells at them. So,
And that's usually, if you're trying to get a message out there, it's usually conversations that go farther than that.
Exactly. And can I see your badge number just so that way? All right. Perfect. Oh, yep. So in the back, I don't know. I think there's only awnings like right in that doorway. Can I be? I can't ask. Oh, okay. There is an awning, but I mean, like, because I don't want to get run over.
Yeah, I wouldn't block the doorways.
No.
Pass through, but just don't stand in front or near the doors. That's the.
Yeah.
I don't. As much as I don't want to see you get in trouble, it's just, you know, again, camera views and they're weird. It's kind of like, you know, hey, if you're passing through, by all means.
Okay.
Just don't stand in front of those.
Okay. Yeah.
Just that way it's easier. You can get your message out.
Yep.
And then they're not trying to say, oh, look, we have it on camera staying there for 5 minutes. You know.
You guys are laughing. What are you laughing about? So what? Can I ask? The guys on the roof are laughing at the situation. The cops are talking to me. That's why why are you laughing? What's so funny? Ask who made the call?
I don't have that information.
Okay. Am I able to get that? Like who?
We'll give you a report number.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You can, if you want to get a copy of it, you can.
Oh, absolutely. So I can get that online? Do I have to pay for it? I mean, I've never had anything.
I think they might have a fee if you want a copy, but all the instant reports usually.
Because if I can just review it and screenshot it, that process.
Information reports. We'll give you the contact number where you can call again.
Okay, because even if there's a building that I can go in and talk to an actual person, just so that way I'm making sure I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's.
So you'll get a copy of the form, and it'll have actually, I think it'll have
Okay, got it.
including the report.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. So I think he already first said it. The overhang that goes to the street, I had to watch how many times I passed the door. But he doesn't want me walking in the street. I think I passed that. Let me see if I can. Because it was right before. Let's see. Okay. No, if I could just pass it.
But if you break the threshold, like walking in, like our style.
Got it.
Especially if it's tiled and it's cement and it's tiled.
Yes.
Like if you go in there now, you're trespassing.
Okay.
I'll go into the building.
Right. I was on mute. What was it again? It's not a trespass, but it's a warning. A notice of trespass. Okay. No, that is fine. I wear this badge of honor. I just turned 42. I'm proud. Yeah. I'm on YouTube. Yep.
They do have a lot of cameras that are actually active. We're not, again, there's no criminal in that, but
okay.
It becomes a, you know, your word against their word. You know, there are.
Yep. He was saying it's their word against mine, and so it's not really. He didn't want to take evidence, even though I'm on YouTube. But the whole this is what gets me with Clearwater, because they have an overhang and it's public property, a public sidewalk. It's still public. It's not theirs. You can cross it, even though it's an underhang. You just can't sit underneath it or stand underneath it. So that's what they were saying, because he'd rather me not go out in the street. Clearwater doesn't care if you walk out into the street and get hit. They don't want, that's their property. That's why I was like, I would contest that, because it's not a block of sidewalk that's gone to the building. That doesn't work that way. But it's just interesting to me that
There's your camera. There's your camera.
Right.
Not saying you were yelling at people on the other side, but that's.
I was projecting my voice so that way they just knew hello. Yeah.
That can be construed many ways.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well.
And I'm just sharing that just so you know.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always two sides, and there's also.
So me saying hello is a violation because their interpretation is a threat.
If their interpretation of that is a threat, you have way more power than you give yourself credit for.
It's hilarious. That's why I was telling the guy, he's like, it's their interpretation. Even if they, this is why, don't make it personal. Just totally keep doing whatever you guys are doing. Just don't make it about one person, one individual, because then they can't use it. If I say hello to everybody and then I have to go to court, how many times did I say hi to everybody? Even a person randomly walking past me. This is why the natural behavior of humans is what I want to record. Because you can't just say I was one way with somebody and not the other way. Because I am like that with no. Literally. It's a good way to don't human traffic anyone today. Like, that's not a threat.
Pretty common sense, actually.
Have a great time on session. Come on now. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Because because the paper said that if I am on the property, it's a misdemeanor because it's viewed as a threat.
Wow.
To the property or to someone. That's what that's why it's like impactful of saying no, because you're a threat to the property or to us as individuals.
You've officially been declared.
Yeah, and that's why badge of honor. I don't care if I'm saying that to police, because I literally said hi, and I'm literally looking for this event. From start to finish, I was literally looking for an event that never came. This was the event, I guess. But that's why I'm like, where was the threat and interpretation? It's like, okay, let the judge decide then. If I really want to
let the
contest
judge
it.
interpret.
But I've never been on their property or specifically knowing that, hey, I'm going to stand here on your property. So
you would figure the sidewalk would be public space anyway.
Oh, afterwards, it gets very interesting. I even clipped it. There is a Sea Org member that used to be on the Gold Base that works here, that's staffed here. She is Karen Powell's sister. Karen Power is the spokesperson for Scientology.
Yep.
Her sister, in her 40s, my age, worked at the Gold Base with Jeff Hawkins.
All right, give me 1 second because I am adding this information to my mega document.
Oh, we can talk offline, girl.
Oh, I would be so happy to. Or even just have a stream where we talk about that shit.
She sadly is the state's manager thingy, whatever the state's. Yeah. So she's here and on a public org of 5, whatever they call it. And my brain's just, what do they call it? It's a 5.
5?
It used to be a 4 org, 5. I don't know.
Class 4, class 5?
Class. I'm like, it's not stage. Class 5.
Stage 4, stage 5.
Stage, yeah. It's cancer now.
That's how far the disease of Scientology has progressed in your mind.
Right. To go from the Gold Base to then the Blue Building where she used to work. She was trying to, I have her whole story from Jeff.
Oh, I'd be interested.
Yeah. to be sent here by herself as a state's manager or case, whatever, I don't know if I'm using the right verbiage, but she's pretty pissed off that I have not left. It's evident because they thought me not being on the cement, the sidewalk, was part of the whole plan. No, I didn't leave. And I thought that I had a panic attack at the end. I thought it was not going home because the police station is a couple of blocks the other way, and police come that way to go back to the police. I was like, cops are called. I'm done. I'm not going home. But let me show you Karen Powell.
For any person to enter or remain upon any private property or business premises after having been notified by the owner or agent to keep off or keep away therefore. So there is a sign that they have a right to kick someone off their property. You know, not right next to all are welcome. But of course, like on other parts of the like back door where there's no window. Okay. Okay. Such notification shall be provided by service of notice of trespass on such person.
So this is interesting because when I looked up the law, it states before I show you that, I'm going to show you the picture I have. How do I do that? Hang on. I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to share the window. The window. Okay. This is the property sign. So all visitors must register at the reception desk prior to entering. Media tours must be arranged in advance by calling the director of public affairs at blah, blah, blah. The use of cameras inside the church is prohibited. The church is private property and reserves the right to refuse entry and to remove any person. So it is private property. So as long as it stated that, it's a year. If it did not state private property or specifically as closed to public, it's 30 days. So a year is up. I no longer am trespassed. They could renew it, but it's over. Like they have no way to reissue me one unless I redo what I just did, which was be at the door. I'm not going to be at the door. Don't worry about that. And I don't need to say hi to you. Apparently, you don't like friendliness.
They should put hi in their bull baiting.
No! Have a great day. Shut up. So, I'm going to try to find. Did I move it? Yep. I'm going to try to find that clip of Karen Powell. Give me 1 second. Where's my clip? I thought the clip actually showed up. Is there a way to see the clips?
Not quite sure.
Because it's on YouTube. Shorts. Oh, Rules and Samantha Powell. Shoot, hang on. Hang on. Why was I not sharing that, but you could hear it? Could you hear it?
No, I couldn't hear it at all.
Silly me. Okay, let me take you there. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let me rewind that.
Well, according to the cops, I will be arrested if I walk too many times back and forth or around under the awning or, on their property or by their doors because I am scaring them. I am making them worried and blocking their way into their own building. That's their claim.
Just watch the door.
So it's the stupidest thing, and I'm still proud. But I don't want to get arrested. Yeah, the
The fuck? Just opens it, closes it.
Yep. That's Samantha Powell.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she literally, nope. And because she pretty much kicked it open.
And then she made eye contact with you and just no.
Gave me the dirtiest look. Oh, yeah, I'm really scary. I said, hi. And she's like, yeah. So that was pretty much my day. Sadly, I upset Kelly by mentioning her to the cops. Hey, we're out here, but apparently me saying group, global, and then mentioning her, she did not want me doing that. So I got in trouble with her. Pretty much keep your name out of my mouth. Okay. And it took her a while to come down to the org. Instead, she went to the river and decided to tell people what a group is. This is a group. This is me. With different. Yeah. I was very upset because, and I can imagine not wanting to be part of cops showing up. But I'm like, if you watched it, I said hello, and I was not underneath. So, but this is the popular. Oh, hi, Jerry. You know about Jerry?
Nope. But I also do like the fact that one of the commenters is a Professor Kakan.
I know.
I like that joke. That's good. But who is Jerry?
Jerry might as well be Osa.
Oh, this is the Oh, I've heard of Jerry before, I think, actually.
I know.
It's
He
just
has a
been a
brown
long
circle
time.
now. Yeah, his
Wow.
tone changes.
Hello, Jerry.
his
It's good to
real
see
name.
you.
Yeah, I have nobody blocked from my channel. He can hang around. I rather him get this information. If you're a never in, great, get this information. But if you use any type of Scientology, like Jerry has on me randomly, Yeah, I'm going to call you out. And he's the one that told me that his comments are copyrighted.
Well, either way, Jerry, I could use a little trolling on my channel. It's been pretty uneventful over there, but we could have a conversation all day in Scientologies if you want. So I'm up for the challenge. I got my TRs in. I got the ability to confront.
Yep. And he knows how disappointed I am with Scientology. He says he is too. He has helped me with a couple of terminology.
Okay.
He's quite helpful. He can be a little trolling, but I just go, Jerry's Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how he's always welcome here, unless he's really like putting random things. And if he wants to get kicked out, that's a way to do it, Jerry. Unless you really want to have a conversation. But let's be adult about it. Yeah, this is just all about education, just like how I'm finding out about what Scientology is and what their education is about. Everyone has a right. I mean, there's nothing against the law joining a cult or joining a group that you identify with. No. But if you're covering up crimes or not obeying the law of the land, like Ron Hubbard says to do in the Creed and everything, then yeah, we definitely have something to discuss of being lawful. And you know, I don't like scaring people or making them feel uncomfortable. That's not my jam at all. I truly want to make a safe space. This is why I asked the question to Marilyn, and I didn't know if she gave an answer, but with people versus their behavior, how do you, or what do you do to draw the line of what all of a sudden becomes you're isolating that person, instead of agree to disagree?
Yeah.
I understand not wanting that person in your space, depending on what is safe to you or whatever. But with the mod wars, or if someone makes a decision to do something on their own, completely whatever, somehow everyone is associated, who is associated to that person, people think they think that way. And
Yeah.
I have had that targeted on me. People started moving away from me and being a little weird in their lives. And I'm like, so I emailed them, like, what's going on? And they're like, well, this person did this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. What? And they're like, oh, okay, we just wanted to make sure that you're not. But we turns into not an individual. That it's so complicated. Human behavior is really interesting to me, because I was brought up to really be independent, and I can easily move away from people and be alone because of the chaos that other people bring or their opinions.
Yep.
And it's not that I'm not accepting of them, but it really is intriguing on how people, all of a sudden, one behavior becomes their whole identity. That person, the person they're against. Instead of, do you see what my dog's doing?
I just heard noises, and
She's
now
in the trash, bringing trash out to the backyard, one by one, with me sitting here. Because what I do, and she wags her tail at, I'm like, Fever, you're thieving.
Fever, no thieving.
I know, but she just keeps doing it. I'm just like, seriously? That's like the second piece of trash she brought outside. She's gonna keep going. That's my stubborn. So, but yeah, no, I just find it interesting that if you have a different opinion, and a strong opinion at that, you're all of a sudden tagged as trolling.
Yep.
And it's all of a sudden you're not welcome in that chat because this is my space, or the whole. And I'm just like, Jerry and I don't interact outside of this space,
Mm-hmm.
but he is now respectful enough because he knows I will do a live and have the live comments come up and talk about it, because that's how I handle the truth. Like, really, instead of just my interpretation, let's get a collective here
Yep.
and review and see if this behavior is okay. Because instead of banning Jerry, I just want him to understand where my boundaries are and you still exist. Instead of isolating that person and saying you are going to have a limited amount of friends. And I understand people making themselves safe and going, nope. But to have all of a sudden so many streams about one person, and I get it, safety and not, knowledge of how this person may grift or whatever, but all these names and labels to me can be dangerous because you're putting them in a box like they never evolved, like they will never do anything for the better, or I don't know. It's weird to me.
I'm just thinking about how many times Hubbard has done that in his writings.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, oh yeah, the way you recognize it, one of the signs of a suppressive person is they make broad generalities. Wow, so do you, motherfucker.
Yes. And the black and white thinking, because I started rereading the Diane, or can you stop thieving? You cannot be that hungry. this wild woman over here. But yeah. Sorry, I lost.
No, you're good.
In one of, I think it was 8808 or something.
Oh, 880.
Yeah.
88008.
Yeah, something, one of those. I was trying to look back in the books because they have the addresses in some of them and everything, and when was it reprinted. But the verbiage of the black and white thinking wasn't a positive at first, but then when he like rephrases everything, it starts going into this is the way you should think. So it's like he was processing as he was writing what his thoughts really were.
Yeah.
It like evolved as he's writing. It's like, do people really follow along with what you're writing? Or
they say they are. Only doing that though because they gotta fucking appease the supervisor.
It's so weird just hearing his recordings. They don't make sense.
I will say though, it's fun to make your own.
That makes sense. He's like, okay, the space or whatever, and then you double that space, and I'm like, what?
Oh, that thing from the flag
like,
order on toughness?
Yes, you have one mess going on or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all you have to do is double it.
Yeah, he said.
How do you? I'm sorry. How do you double one problem?
At upper levels in Scientology, we find ourselves unable to handle one area, and so instead of doing the natural thing and reducing the area we're trying to handle, we just double the size of the area. That's how theta works. I recommend it to you very thoroughly.
Doubling what? I'm sorry. Doubling what? The thinking process?
The problem.
The actual problem, or like. And how do you do that? Where's the formula in that?
But then I also
just double it.
when it came
Guys,
to
come
that,
on, double it.
it fucks with the problems of work, and it fucks with his idea of gradient scales. Because the problems of work mentions focus on one thing at a time,
Yeah.
and gradient scale says basically don't overwhelm yourself.
But double it.
Only double it when you're in the Sea Org.
Oh,
Or on
because you have
staff.
to handle it. No. Because then you're like, touch the chair.
Oh my god.
That's how it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's not that the gradient's too high for me to understand. It's English.
It's
Or whatever,
it's bullshit.
whatever language.
But
that's
it's
the thing.
I can read the words.
Because here's the thing. You can by definition go to each word and define it.
Mm-hmm. But
sure.
it doesn't.
But when you put it
phrasing
together as a sentence, the actual sentence, it
Mhm.
makes no sense.
Yes. Yes.
And that's where you get it, you're like, form a sentence. And I'm like, the whole thought is not there. The noun, the pronoun, like
the isness.
Yep.
The
oh
fucking
my gosh,
made up
the
nonsense.
different types of isness.
As is, non is, alter is, or as is, not is, alter is, and I don't know.
Yeah. No, I skimmed through it and I'm just like, I don't know how I would make it on course.
I don't have a full
Especially
idea of how to
growing
understand
up,
those isnesses.
like maturing and like all your hormones and everything. It's like you don't talk about that.
I feel bad for anyone who's a kid and is being thrown into that fucking course room. And then they think, oh, this is the way to study?
Yes.
Like, no!
I've seen way too many completions on that, on how to study or how to learn.
Learning how to learn. The basic study manual.
Yes.
Student hat.
Or what spirituality is, or what.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, it's how to learn what to learn, or something like that. It's so, it's like,
I think if I have it, yep, I have 3 booklets: Learning How to Learn, How to Use a Dictionary, and Grammar and Communication for Children.
it gets.
I can
The
share
whole
one with you if you want
gradient
right now.
The whole gradient thing
Mhm.
is totally a massive manipulation tool of like, you can't go here because you haven't read this yet. That bullshit. And then it's the same BS.
But how does that?
Several different beats.
How would that differ from normal grade school?
Because he uses the same dictionary. No, not dictionary. Here, I have the Phoenix lectures. They go over the same freaking thing on lower things. Is this the 808 or Phoenix? Oh, this is Phoenix. It's backwards though.
Okay. I think I only have notes on the lectures. I don't.
This
have
goes over the isness.
Okay. Let's do this.
Oh my god.
I'm having fun.
Where to freaking start? Okay. Oh, it's the celebrated lecture series given by L. Ron Hubbard to the professional course, Phoenix, Arizona, in July 1954. Compiled into book form by the editorial staff of the publications organization worldwide. Excited yet, guys?
Yay!
Okay, important note. In studying Scientology, be very, very certain you never go past a word you do not fully understand. Sound familiar? It's the same damn thing in the other ones. How's your gradient? Oh, where'd you go? I thought I clicked on it. Are you trying to screen share?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do
We
it one
hit-
more time? I
Yep,
thought I
give me
clicked on
one
it and
second.
it went away.
Click.
Add to scene.
There we go.
Oh, look! You guys can follow along. This is so happy. Okay. The only reason a person gives up a study or becomes confused or unable to learn is that he or she has gone past a word or phrase that was not understood. If the material becomes confusing or you can't seem to grasp it, there will be a word just earlier that you have not understood. So not the word that you don't understand, but it's the word before.
It's before it.
Don't go any further, but go back to before you got into trouble.
The fact that they call, I don't know why, it's just the term of referring to like not doing well in your study, getting into trouble. Like that
Yeah.
feels way too negative for what it is.
Oh, yeah. You misunderstood. So
You're in trouble.
therefore, you need to go back, repeat it, or do the RPF, which what it really stands for, isn't it? Rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm. And I think now it's
Because you
EPF type
misunderstood
B.
the whole instruction of what it is to be a Scientologist. Damn. Oh, yep. There's a glossary in this too. So find the misunderstood word and get it defined using the glossary on page 311, a good dictionary, or other Scientology texts.
No, thank you. I am sorry. This is the one thing that pisses me off about Hubbard and his word clearing and his dictionary fucking fetish. He mentions how dictionaries, most regular secular dictionaries, have pronunciation guides, synonyms, word originations, and just normal dictionary stuff. His dictionaries have none of that.
No.
But he cares about it. But it's not there. So what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. And he makes up damn words that are not in the dictionary, like Scientology. Because
Professor,
he put 2 words that are, Greek or whatever.
yeah, Greek and Latin.
Latin, thank you. I was like Italian. I was like, that's not it. Don't take a course from me.
Hubbard just starts speaking Italian. Or he says he is.
Bologna.
It's Professor Kakan said only 3 things to know about study tech. Understand the words, get a physical or visual example of new things to study, or build up skill gradually. For example, don't try to juggle 3 plates before you're an expert at 2. You are now as qualified as a Hubbard senior course supervisor.
Yep. Oh my gosh. So on chapter 1.
Okay.
Scientology, its general background. This is
Mm-hmm.
the start of the lecture. This is why it repeats. So how are you not able to go forward? It's right here. The word Scientology is one which you might say is angelic size. It comes from the Latin Scio and the Greek logos, with Scio the most emphatic statement of no we had in the Western world. And ology, there's no quotation marks too, by the way. That
Here's
is so
my
weird.
question. It's like I'm sure there are 100 examples of this that I am not familiar with, but when you make a word, can you combine 2 different cultures?
No.
Because that's the first thing that sticks out to me is like I can understand if the word was entirely based off Latin or entirely based off Greek, but the fact that it's a combination of the 2.
You can't. Because there's no other, it's not English. It's not anything defined that can be translated in any other word.
Well, now I'm looking up the fucking Dianetics shit. Dianetics, hold on. So is it Greek or is it Dianous?
They're saying, that's what I mean. Like,
What does nous mean in Greek? Mind, understanding, or intellect. Okay. So dia in Greek. No, I don't need the mythology. Okay, through by means of. So, but yeah, no, he's technically got that one right, like a couple paragraphs down through mind, but that's
Yeah,
about as right as he's gonna be.
but the logos, like ology, is study of. Yes, that's medicine too. That's all of theor theoreticism, everything, theorize everything, ology. But then he's like, Sayo is knowing in the fullest sense of the world, the word, and the Western world recognizes in it, and in the word science, something close to the truth. So here's the thing: he's now three science is a westernized version of logos. It's crazy. And then he's like, yeah, and in the word science, something close to a truth. No,
Not even in this
science
case,
is
it's not
not
even close to it.
close to a truth. That's not what the word science.
But I want to look at this next paragraph. This is not
This is
science-tology, and it is not sciotology, simply because that is not close enough to English. Motherfucker, you're not speaking close enough to English. Why do you have the fucking right to bitch about science-tology and sciotology when your word makes just as little fucking sense? Oh, Scientology was first a word invented by a German philosopher in the 20s. Hubbard never publicly acknowledged it. No fucking shit, he didn't.
he took everything. He can't have an original thought.
He really can't.
He can't. He's like, I'm smart, people. Look at me.
I am doctor of physics from university I flunked out of in my first semester.
I don't know how he was looked upon as charismatic. That's like looking at Trump and saying he's charismatic.
You got to think of the entire MAGA party.
I'm not talking politics here. I'm just saying, as a person, his whole life of what he's been through, what he's done, whatever, and then he's in his 70s now, I think. But like, that's what L. Ron Hubbard was in the 70s,
I can tell you
1970s.
why.
So this is why, like,
people,
how is he? I'm sorry, but how is he the most brilliant man? How does he hold an audience
with the fucking
I'm just so confused at how this man
actually, I mean, he
built
couldn't
a
really
cult
hold an
and
audience.
held
Half
on
of
to
his
it for
fucking
more than 3 years, 2 years.
half of his audience shit was what? Edited to make it sound like he was talking to a larger group than he actually was, thanks to Golden Era.
It's horrible. I don't know. I wouldn't pay.
He's got the same charisma that I think
I don't
Marshall
know how,
Applewhite
because he
did.
talks in circles and then he talks slow in the cadence and everything of it. It like reveals him to be stupid. Honestly, in my opinion, when I like hear him and stuff, I'm just like, what the hell did he say? By double it? Double what? I'm writing notes here. What does double mean? Like, of the problem? So I'm gonna create more of the problem? Who's creating more of the problem?
Let me see. Hold on, I'm gonna look at my I think I have a section of videos called one-offs. No, not one-offs. Out of context. What was it? What did he say?
Oh my gosh, the next one is hilarious. So we
What is
use a word which is fairly easy to say, which is simply Scientology.
So is
Ta-da!
Scientology. What the fuck? What is the difference? What is the fucking difference? Oh, whoops, hang on. 1 second. Fuck. Gotta fix that. There we go.
Yeah. It's not science. This one's easier to say.
Never mind the fact that he came up with a million words that are completely difficult to understand the concept of.
And in different countries with different languages. And then we're
Yep.
going to throw the Western side of the world into it and have that. Science is not truth. That's not the definition of science at all. Because you can have, you come up with the hypothesis, and then another one. Yeah. And then you go figure out the answer. You're not finding out the truth. You're finding out what works.
And you're always working your way closer to the truth, but you're never 100% at the truth.
Exactly. And that's why it's like science is truth. That's what it means. What are you talking about? Science actually evolves. So
I don't know if
it can't be defined as yep. In 1950, please take the whole whatever bomb it was, for the purification rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was literally bring it back. Put it.
I was gonna bring this back first. Oh, god damn it! Why is it not working? Hang on, I gotta have that up first. Then I have this up. Then I have this. This is just like little clips of context, little clips that I've gathered from one specific Hubbard lecture that I want to put in a series called Out of Context.
That'd be cool.
Like the fuck? That was it. But he's trying to protect communism for some reason.
Oh, I didn't hear it at all.
Oh, if I stream, it can't play? What the fuck? Hang on. Let me try again. I don't know why it's not letting me play audio. Extra camera, share screen. Local video? Nope. I'm going to play it again. You let me know if you can hear it. It's playing.
No.
What the fuck? Hold on. Can't stream media player restream. Twitch, nope. No. Can't stream audio application restream. I don't care that it can access my microphone. I want it to access the fucking other shit. I don't think it can access anything unless... Wait a minute. If I put this on my Google Drive, will it work? New folder. No. New folder upload. Me videos. This. Upload. And then... What do you mean 5 minutes? This thing is fucking like 30 seconds. I'm uploading the little clips that I have. So if I can do... I know I'm almost out of storage. Go fuck yourselves.
Everyone seems to be out of storage.
Okay, so right click, share to... Nope. Hold on. I'm going to send you actually, wait. Is this just available? Fuck it. Anyone with a link. Copy link. Email. I'm going to go to the message you sent me, and I'm going to reply with this link. And you should be able to share it on your end. I am not on Chrome, by the way. I am on Firefox Scooter. I didn't think that the browser would cause an issue, but I thought it was only because it was an external application that I was using to play the audio that it couldn't pick it up.
I open up the file. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it's got 8 audio clips.
Okay. Which one did you want?
Either one, any of them. Doesn't matter. They're all equally stupid. Like I said, this is going to be for a series of out of context clips, like the phrase that I said, Hubbard was keto before keto was cool.
It's wanting me to rename it because it's too long or something, the connection.
That's stupid. Why you have
Windows
to
cannot complete the extraction. The destination path is too long.
That's dumb. All right, give me a minute and I'll share it on my ship. Hang on, we'll see if I can get it to work through here.
Because I downloaded
Files,
it, but it
Hubbard.
won't.
Here we go. All right, I am going to share my browser. Let me, no, maybe I'm not. What the fuck? This one. Allow.
All right.
Let me know if you can hear this. If it plays.
I can't hear anything.
God damn it. It is because I'm using fucking Firefox. Son of a bitch. You need the box that comes up to give permission to share audio. Firefox doesn't show it. Okay, so I would need to rejoin the stream in Chrome.
We could do another live and do that.
Yeah, we'll do that another time. But either way, I've got a bunch of clips of stupid shit, like evolving a wall into existence. I don't know versus no idea. The idea of no idea.
These will help you.
No, what is this one? Oh, and this one, psychology stuck on brains. Like,
That's
what
the
else are
one
they
I
going to
was
be
trying to
fucking
open.
focused on?
Well, this one is weird. Of course, the Western world thinks of mind as something that mental cases have, something of that kind, and we weren't particularly interested in continuing to concentrate upon this thing called mind, although mind is a perfectly useful word. How passive aggressive do you need to be in a writing? That's dumb. It is useful, but we're just not going to focus on that. God. I swear he just typed to type. He really
did.
did.
Well, I mean, he really did.
It just went like, eh. In Scientology, we are not going through mind. We are talking about knowledge. It's like touch my finger. Now touch the finger.
Thank you.
This is, yeah. Dianetics was a study of the mind. There's no doubt about that. And there's no doubt about it that it is a very legitimate ancestor of Scientology.
I mean, technically it came before. It doesn't make it as legitimate as anything.
Doesn't make it an ancestor. That's not what ancestor means.
Well, I mean, Dianetics did sprout the whole thing.
I didn't think a non-living thing could have an ancestor. Like the rock. This pebble came from that rock, and that's his ancestor. That's not what an ancestor means.
Oh my god.
The lineage of this pebble.
The lineage.
That's what it like the whole.
Oh. I've dated it back 60 trillion years. I have been this rock in a past life.
It has some growth, some moss. Considered a disease. But it has cleaned itself. Next generation.
Oh my god.
This is why it's like, this doesn't make sense. It's not an answer. You can't have an ancestor of a non-living thing. A tree, yes, but not a made-up world.
And Dianetics belongs, in a sense, in the world of psychology. So at this point, you admit psychology is a legitimate thing, correct?
Yep.
And Scientology does not belong in the world of psychology and is not an advanced psychology and cannot be defined in the framework of psychology. At least you admit it's horse shit. Psychology is an anglicized word, not today true to its original meaning. Okay, psyche. Does psyche actually fucking mean soul? Or is he pulling that out of the crack of his ass?
There is no soul. Oh my gosh, because that's a belief.
Oh no, the human soul, mind, or spirit comes from the Oxford Dictionary. Wow, so we actually got that one.
Really?
I did not know psyche had to do
I
with
thought
the
soul
soul.
was just a belief.
It is, I mean.
Well, that's what I mean. I just thought it was, because I don't think, could it really be crossed into a law then? Law terms.
How can you have this word meaning one thing that's real and one thing that we don't have proof of? You have the mind, which is a fucking very real thing.
Yeah.
Or soul. I just don't understand how those mean the same thing at least whenever that word originated or whatever it means now. I don't know how those two can go in the same definition.
I wonder if it was more about your decision making.
Maybe.
What's the specific word? Like not your manners, but like your not etiquette, but like a, gosh dang it. I swear.
Can you describe something that would fall into that category?
Not mannerisms, but your ethical decision making.
Okay. Morality?
Yeah, your morals. Yeah. Would that be considered a soul?
I personally don't see the connection.
I don't see the connection, but I'm just like asking, is this where, like, I could see where you can come with it? Like identity, personal integrity, that type of personal, not the mind, how the mind works is general. But then when you get to specific morals, I can see that as a soul, because then you're individualizing a person's mindset and said, I don't know.
I feel like we're trying to stretch it here.
I know. Okay, we're thinking too deep into it. Okay, anyways, it's a soul. We got a soul. But then it really goes in, to quote one, guys. It has to be studied by its own history, since it no longer refers to the soul or even to the mind.
How? How does it not?
So we don't know what psychology refers to today.
Oh my god. Never.
I thought this was the truth. I thought science was truth. Okay. It simply got lost. That's the next sentence. It simply got lost.
The definition of psychology just got up and fucked off. We have to go find it. It's in the woods somewhere.
And so we have to step out and take a word, which actually means what we mean.
Well, then how about you fucking make a word that has a definition that makes fucking sense?
Which is the study of knowingness. A study of wisdom.
Oh,
it's called
God.
philosophy, you dumbass. If I heard this, I'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I rarely ever dive into Hubbard books purely because of the to me, at first, when I first read shit like this, it's just bullshit and boring. But then as we start, if I'm with someone else and they help me start like diving into the sentences themselves, I realize more how fucking bullshit and stupid they are.
It's so weird because it's the same context. I'm just putting sentence by sentence.
Mm-hmm.
No clue what you mean. What are you talking about? Because the next one is literally, we have to take the word Scientology, no comma, because that is what we are doing.
Isn't that circular?
We are doing. You're talking about the mind or the soul,
Like,
but
this
then you're
sentence
not
had
talking
nothing to
about
do
the
with
soul or the
anything.
mind. I know. He just went in a full circle.
That's like saying,
To wrap your brain around this and think
I
is this
can't
the right
do this.
gradient for
Oh
me?
my god.
I don't think this is the right gradient for anyone to
I
understand.
feel so bad for Tilty and Fluffer Squirrel because they fucking did this shit with all those like booklets and like introductory courses and shit. And my brain went to mush after about an hour of being in one of those streams, just hearing what Hubbard was saying and all that shit. And I'm like, oh my god, people sit here for hours and read this shit.
He repeats
I
it
can't
just
handle
like,
it.
this is a higher level, and he's talking about the same shit. This is why I'm like, no, the gradient is weird. And you're like, no, isn't it like school? No, this is like repeat a grade.
Oh, this is basically an ACC at this point. Okay. Scooter said, this is what it was like for us when we read Dianetics with Miss Kim. I have that playlist saved. I have not listened to it yet, and I've been really meaning to. Heather Mack said, I am a rock. My ancestor is that boulder. His ancestor is that sheer face of granite. So?
And then it goes back into part 2. Not kidding. Chapter 2 is part 2 of the Scientology, its general background.
And now we get to talk about the Buddha. The Buddha and the Vita.
I think this just is sacrilege at this point. When you
well, don't forget, he wrote Hymn of Asia, where he claimed he happened to be Matea.
That's what I'm trying to say. It just gets weird. Come on, he had to be on drugs. Be like, I have an epiphany.
He was popping pinks and grays and drinking lots of rum.
But don't do that. You need to be able to be sessionable.
Hold on. I'm just look at the bottom of the page for a second. The next written work, which is supposed to be the oldest written work, according to various frames of mind, is a book called The Book of Job. Isn't that a Bible thing?
It's a Bible.
It's not its own like
no.
Wait, it's a book found in the Hebrew Bible. So like what the fuck?
Bible
what?
is in whatever. I swear the time makes my brain mush. But
yeah.
So there's different authors of each section of the Bible, of each different thing.
Book.
Yeah. Of what they've gone through or whatever. Yeah. There's some sections of the Bible, it's strictly heritage. This person had this person.
Like the beginning of Genesis. When they were talking about,
Yeah, but it goes like into
where they talked about like Adam's fucking like lineage.
Yeah, but they do it several times in the Bible.
Okay.
Like there's one that's strictly laws, but it's a huge chunk of they're connecting who's who. They go through it again. Oh my gosh. Just to get to the next person of the Bible, of the whatever they're going to talk about. So the book of Job is Job writing.
It is, according to Hubbard, it is Indian. The book of Job is Indian. and is older than the
It
Veda.
probably predates what is called early Egyptian. Oh my god.
The Vedas are accepted to be from around 15 to 1200 BCE.
Don't you feel
So
like
way
a
before the
scholar?
Book of Job. What the fuck is he on about?
Don't you feel like a scholar now? You just learned so much.
I learned so much by debunking.
These, I think, are in completely different eras.
Yeah. You think? And we discovered that this Book of
Because the
Job
book
contained...
of Job is before Jesus came. I'm pretty sure.
This
I
book
have it
contained in
somewhere.
it simply the laborings and sufferings and necessity for patience of one man faced with a somewhat capricious God.
God, that's Antichrist. I'm telling you, I do not know how people, and I've seen it too many times still, that are Catholic that believe in Scientology.
They say they're Catholic, but they haven't gotten that far into Scientology because you're going to realize after only a little bit that you got to ditch your fucking religion.
This what blows, and I know because I know that David Miscavige is really squirreling the books, taking out all the chauvinist.
Chauvinist.
Yeah.
Misogynist.
Thank you, misogynist. Okay. All right. I had a speech impediment when I was a kid, and
You're fine. Don't worry about
I
it.
swear when things just don't connect, it goes back into
It's
no S and no
breaking your
R.
brain legitimately.
I'm just like, that word. Yeah. I swear he's changing how Hubbard really viewed on Jesus and that whole story. Because right here, are you just going to take that whole section out? Be like, he repeats. He's okay. You can take that section out. We don't need this information. He's going to make it shorter.
Now, other such works like the Book of Job are scattered along the time track and are known to us here in the Western world as sacred works. They are thought to have come to us from the Middle East, but that would be a very short look.
Oh my God.
Actually, we're looking in the Middle East at a relay point of wisdom from Indian and from Africa into Europe. And as you see, it follows a trade route in both directions, and so you have the roadways of the world crossing through the Middle East. So we would expect such things as the Book of Job to turn up in the Middle East as Holy Scripture. You would expect such things as the Book of the Dead of the Egyptians to turn up in the Middle East as part of the New Testament. What?
I know.
What?
I'm like shocked.
I'm just confused.
First, they're saying it's short history if you go over there. Like, they have not lived over there that long. Even though I'm like, what? Yeah.
And how is this going to be used by you to clear the planet, Ron? Huh? Says Professor Kakan. Oh my God.
And so on.
And so on. Just and so. There could be a great deal of argument about this. There's no argument about this.
I know.
Someone who's passionately devoted to practice rather than wisdom, there are two different things here that embrace religion, would argue with you. But Scientology has no interest in arguing along that line because we can make this very, very clear differentiation right here and now. The word religion itself can embrace sacred lore, wisdom, knowingness of gods and souls and spirits, and could be called, with a very broad use of the word, a philosophy. I don't think that's the definition of philosophy.
No!
So we could say there's religious philosophy and there is religious practice. Now, is this where they got the whole applied religious philosophy shit? Now, religious
crap.
Now, religious practice could take the identical source and by interpretation put it into effect and so create various churches, all dependent upon the identical source, like St. John. If we think of the number of Christian churches that there are, and we look at one book of the New Testament and realize that one book was productive of Baptists, Methodists, Episcopalians, Catholics, we find that a tremendous number of practices can debase upon one wisdom.
Hold on. You said St. John?
He gave that as an example, yeah.
I have St. Luke.
Unless he's talking about the book of John.
No, it literally says now religious practice could take the identical source and by interpretation put it into effect and so create various churches, all dependent upon the identical source, such as St. Luke.
What's your copyright date?
Found a misunderstood word. Okay, 1979.
I got a first edition from 68.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh, I got the unedited version. This is exciting.
We have different saints. Come on now.
Why did they have to edit that? So let's get a very clear differentiation here between religious philosophy and religious practice. When someone who comes to you and says so and so and so is actually the way you're supposed to worship God, you can very cleanly and very clearly and very suddenly bring this to a halt by merely mentioning to him that he's talking about religious practice and you're talking about philosophy.
Okay,
now just coming
what's
down
the
the track
difference?
in a little more orderly fashion, we get to the Tao Te King, which is known to us in the Western world as Taoism. And we may have heard of this religious practice in China. Taoism, as currently practiced today, may or may not have ever heard of the Tao Te King. It may or may not have ever connected, but we are certainly talking about religious philosophy when we mention the Tao Te King. Who the fuck is the Tao Te King? What?
Why are we going worldwide when you just made up Scientology?
Tao Te King is called Or the Tao and its Characteristics. Tao Te Ching, as spelled Ching, is a Chinese classic text and foundational work of Taoism, traditionally credited to the sage Lao Tzu. Through the text's authorship and date of composition and compilation are debated. So basically he's saying Taoism, as currently practiced today, may or may not have ever heard of the foundational work of Taoism. The one thing that their entire thing is based off of. The first thing that their entire thing is
saying
based
Christians do not know a Bible. Nope, no version of the Bible. Nope. No Ten Commandments.
Lao Tzu, I'm looking at the bottom of the page quick.
I know, he goes into
Lao Tzu is a very obscure.
Why do we need to know the history?
Because
if we're talking about
you have to
Scientology,
define your words. At least he's consistent at this point, talking about fucking like the meanings of words, but he's putting us on a fucking word chain for fuck's sake.
Is this the right gradient for you? Have you passed a misunderstood word yet?
I've passed about 15.
I've passed misunderstood sentences. Each word? No, I'm good.
He says very little.
What are you talking about?
Because very little is known about Lao Tzu. I want to doubt that statement. How much do we actually know about Lao Tzu? Claimed and revered as the ancestor of the Tang dynasty, and is similarly honored in modern China as the progenitor of the popular surname Li. Lao Tzu is the modern romanization of the name. It is not a personal name, but rather a title, meaning old or venerable. Okay, do we have any information about his life? The historicity of a person known as Lao Tzu is doubtful as of the mid-20th century, and that the Tao Te King is a compilation of Taoist sayings by many hands, with an author being invented afterwards. As of 2024, the oldest manuscript containing text from the Tao Te King dates to the late 4th century BC, written on bamboo slips excavated as part of the Guodian Chu slips. These passages correspond with roughly 1/3 of the received text, and some are placed in the same order. These are mixed in with passages not carried by the transmitted Tao Te King, indicating that its makeup was still undergoing revisions and modifications. The oldest manuscripts date back to the early 2nd century, but it does not appear that there is a specific real author of it. It's kind of almost like the Bible. Hold on. Very little is known about Lao Tzu. His main passion was obscurity, and he started to leave town one day, and the gatekeeper turned him around and told him he could not leave town until he went home and he wrote this book. What?
How does he know that?
He just created a story about Lao Tzu or Lao Tzu.
Yeah. But
He
I
just
love the next one. He went out the gate and disappeared. That is the last we ever heard of him. Who's we in this sentence?
he was right about very little being known about him. It doesn't mean you can make shit up. It is a
What
very
he
short
did one
book.
day? He woke up, then he went to the gate, and he tried
just-
to talk to him and wanted to leave, and then he left and was never seen again.
He fucked right off. Just like the definition of psychology.
Oh my gosh.
When we have this book, we begin to see that here was somebody trying to go somewhere without going on something. You mean like drugs? We have the Western world defining this work as teaching conformity with a cosmic order and teaching simplicity in social and political organization. The Tao Te King did do this and would be a very finite goal for it. And you can solve... Oh, wait, but this was actually not the Tao. The Tao simply said you can solve the mystery that lies behind all mysteries, and this more or less would be the way you might go about it. But of course, what you're trying to solve itself does not possess the mechanics which you believe to be inherent to the other kinds of... What?
And this more or less would be the way you might go about it. But of course, what you're trying to solve, how many commas do we have?
Seriously, though. It says that man could seek his Taohood in various ways, but he would have to practice and live in a certain way in order to achieve Taohood. This is an amazingly civilized piece of work. It would be the kind of thing you would expect from a very, very educated, extremely compassionate, pleasant people of a higher intellectual order than we're accustomed to. Oh, never mind the people that you said at one point smelled of all the baths they didn't take. It is a very fine book. It's sort of simple. It's sort of naive, and it tells you that one should be simple and economical, and it tells you what would be a wise way to handle things. So you corrupted it by creating Scientology finances. That, by the way, is about the only flaw there is in it from a Scientological point of view, that you must be economical. Why is that a flaw?
Because
Meaning Scientology has to waste money?
He's trying to poke at all the different religions. He did the Bible.
The Tao Te King?
Yep. Who's next? Oh, and psychologists.
And psychologists. He mentions on page 17 the Book of the Winds.
Dear Lord.
Well, it must have been that there were a lot of very, very clever people on Earth at that time, because we find in the lifetime of Lao Tzu one called Confucius, of whom you have heard so much. But unfortunately, Confucius evidently never wrote a single word. Confucius is reported by those who were around him, his disciples, and he took most of his material from or gave credit to some ancient Chinese works. And one of them, if I remember rightly, is the Book of the Winds. And these are very, very ancient, and I have seen some fragmentary translations of them. Of course, Confucius himself was the great apostle of conservatism, and as such has ever since been the very model philosopher to have in a government. He is worshipped in this century by many, many levels in China, and you could buy his statue with great ease throughout northern China. Yeah. Why did you need to mention this book specifically, and why did you need to go into Confucius?
We'll see. And on 16, it's judo or jujutsu, but they talk about that type of self-determination. Yeah. Wow.
Can we just... Why are there 2 lectures dedicated to...
Oh, no, there's now 3. Look at number 3.
Oh, God. It's page 24.
Chapter 3. Scientology is general background, part 3.
Why?
You tell me. Are we getting into your gradient, or are we doing the same grade?
We're at the same grade right now. We're both about kindergarten, where Hubbard thinks he's fucking college. Now we're talking about the Phoenicians.
Buddhism. Where are you?
I'm just looking at the next page, page 25.
Yeah, I have. When we look at Buddhism, Yeah. We are going deep, man. And we're making up stories.
Hold on. How long? Rome civilization
Oh my god.
timeline. 753 BC to 476 CE. Okay. So yeah, about 400 years. About 800 years, sorry.
Oh my gosh, we go into Nero's reign.
We're covering Nero.
What? Moses.
Oh, we talk about Christ.
Yep. The Christian impact wiped out this other cult. Oh my god.
Moses.
Yep.
What were they doing at that time? They were killing men for amusement. They were feeding men to wild beasts for amusement. In the middle reign of Claudius, we find 3,500 men being turned loose, 4 abreast, divided half and half across a bridge of boats, slaughtering each other for the amusement of the patricians. And then at the bottom of page 28, it says, but here we have this information poorly interpreted. Bitch, your whole thing is poorly interpreted. And then we get to just the next page. But here we have this information poorly interpreted, badly carried through areas which did not know how to read and write, which is quite different from Asia. And we find this church and that church having to pick up and adopt customs in order to gain any entrance into these new areas. We discovered today the worship of the winter solstice in our Christmas. Why are we getting into the winter solstice now?
How is that a sentence? We discovered today the worship of the winter solstice in our Christmas. What's
I think
in
you
our
forgot
Christmas?
a comma. We worship the winter solstice during Christmas. Or we have the worship of the winter solstice in
That
our
is
modern day
our
Christmas.
Christmas.
Maybe. I mean, I don't celebrate it on the winter solstice. I don't give a fuck about the winter solstice when I celebrate Christmas. I don't think about it. Like,
Oh
hold
my
on.
god.
Page 30. I'm gonna second paragraph.
Oh.
At first, hell was only the fact that Rome was going to disappear in a sea of lava, and everyone wanted to see Rome die. And that recruited people left and right. They promised them that Rome was going to disappear in a sea of molten lava, and they tried to prove it in Nero's reign by burning the place down. Well, they didn't have a great deal of success. Rome went on surviving and was finally taken over entirely, and has since been the orientation point of Christianity. So hell started as Rome disappearing into lava?
Because isn't Italy is Catholicism, not
Yeah, Italy is Catholicism.
is that a part of Christianity?
It's a denomination.
Denomination? Because Catholicism doesn't take Jesus off the cross.
No, we leave him on the cross.
Yeah. I never heard of the lava.
I haven't either. I don't know if that was like just the originations of hell or what. Were you religious growing up at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Can I ask what religion?
Sure. I went to a Baptist church and then I moved to a non-denominational church, or more like a what's it called?
Unitarian? No.
No,
Universalist?
it was more. I think it started with an A, but it was more like you get the word out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you eat the fucking Eucharist and drink the wine? Did you eat the body, drink the blood?
yeah.
How often did you do that? Was that every week? Every other week? Every
No,
month?
it was like twice a year.
We did that every week in Roman Catholicism.
Oh, see, I wasn't No.
Did y'all have confession?
No.
Okay, that's another thing.
I was baptized.
How old were you when you were baptized? So I'm not sure if that happens at the same age. Okay, I was like 6 days. They baptized us
really?
early.
Oh, because they believe that you need to be baptized before you to get to heaven, right?
Yeah, for your original sin.
Yeah. I think my religion meant like if you were because you were too innocent, you had to make the personal choice
That would make sense.
to yeah. Mine
Instead
was
of just assuming that we're
after
all fucked from the get-go.
yeah. Mine was after a unalive attempt.
Hmm.
And I heard a voice in my head because I'm like, no one loves me. I'm just gonna get. I love you, and I was like, what the, yeah. And I was already going to church, and then that's what made me. I'm like, oh hell, okay. And then that's what made me not stop, but that made me at least stop the attempts. The only reason why it stopped me the attempts because I'm like, seriously, no one loves me. I'm the problem. It's better that I go. Just leave. And this would make me want to leave faster. Oh my
Yeah, me too. I just skipped ahead to the fucking 4th lecture called Consideration Mechanics and the Theory Behind Instruction just because I am sick of the religion.
No, literally on page 30, the use of Christianity was to produce a certain civilized state, and many people would blacken Christianity by saying it reduced people down to a very low level indeed. This is not true. It took an entire world of slaves, and it made free men out of them. What does this say?
This in itself was quite a gain. It took a world that worshipped exclusively force and matter and made it recognize that sooner or later one would have to turn to the fact that it is soul. There were the ideas of souls before Christianity. So what the fuck are you going on about?
Oh my gosh, the basic wisdoms is still available to us in the New Testament. Oh my God. The Christian God is actually much better characterized in the Vedic hymns than in any subsequent publication, including the Old Testament.
So now he's saying if you're Christian, fuck the Bible, go to the Vedic hymns.
Who the hell cares about the 6 days and the 7th day of rest? Who cares about what he made and which day? Your whole belief system is wrong.
Fuck your book. Read this other one. That's not at all related.
This is blasphemy and Catholicism and what?
Catholicism.
I can't even say that word. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then he goes to the 17th century. That's good. We moved on from AD or BC.
From BC to AD, yeah.
Oh, I'm at Christopher Columbus.
I found it.
And Marco Polo. The Arabian Nights into France.
What the fuck? The Renaissance.
One page literally goes from Christopher Columbus to Portuguese, Cape of Good Hope, Open the Lanes, Buddhism, Arabian Nights, Renaissance, Marco Polo.
Hold on. Just look at the beginning of that paragraph that you were looking at. He was a very wise man. Go to the second line towards the end where it says it was. And now look at my screen. This is how far the sentence goes.
This is okay. It was up to the Portuguese to continue around the bottom of the Cape of Good Hope and open the lanes to Europe. And as soon as we get them open, we first find all of this information flooding in. Information suddenly starting to appear. Parts of the Veda starting to appear. Various practices of Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, Other things start to crop up in Europe, and right along with this, we begin to get such things as the Arabian Nights, and in the middle of the 18th century, we get what you might call a renaissance of literature, a birth of a novel, and so forth, coincidental, and the instruction of the Arabian Nights into France. That is one freaking sentence. So many commas, so many ands, and just random thoughts.
And then at the very end of that paragraph on page 33, I don't care how you would trace this one way or the other. You clearly care because you've traced it out. But we still find that it was the repository of all the wisdom there was in the world at that time, and it has more or less continued so. Oh my god, I am so fucking bored with this. I'm sorry, I'm skipping to ARC for once.
Okay, actually, on chapter 5, there's the consideration and isness.
We found the isnesses.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the ARC. This one's worse.
Hold on, I want to read this. Now, here's the most fundamental that there can be fundamental below the level of consideration. I haven't written very much about considerations. There really isn't much to say about the subject of consideration, but I'm sure you're going to make it into 15 fucking pages. If anyone is confused on the subject, it is because consideration is consideration. The fuck does that mean? And all things are a consideration of the God, do you want me to drink every time he says consideration? So that if you consider something which is considerable, why you have considered it.
He wrote like he was getting paid for each
Hold
word.
on, how many times did he say that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He used it. He used the.
So if you have a
forms of the
misunderstood word, go to
times.
the word before it.
It's the same thing. It's the same word.
And it's used as a noun, a pronoun, a verb. Can you imagine this being translated into the other languages?
Ugh. They don't have this. They don't have words for this nonsense. And they don't need it. Oh, you know what I would love to do? A stream where you and I like look at this stuff and just make it an OT 420 stream.
This
A
is
smoking game or something.
this is bad. Because there is several different isness.
It has been
Alter
so
isness.
long since I've seen a puff pass video.
There is a category of just plain isness. I'm serious, on page 55.
Oh, hang on, I'm still on 48.
Oh my gosh. There's a not isness.
Yeah, a moment. Oh, where are we looking here? Wait.
It's so bad.
Hold on, I gotta start at page 54. The end of no, wait, hang on. Hang on. We got as is, alter is. Where does as is actually get defined? Let's look at the various categories of isness. We find that each one is a gradient scale. First, there is as isness. Are we content with and can accept things as they are?
Wait a minute.
As we are content with and can accept things as they are, they won't exist. What?
Wait.
No, you can.
Why are we talking about libidos?
What?
Go to
Where?
Go to page 51 and it goes over to 52. Unless
Oh,
this is my
fuck.
version.
Hold on. I see it. I fucking see it.
It keeps talking. It's libido after libido.
Hold on. What is he? And I could quote these authorities which didn't exist, but which you couldn't disprove. And we could go on about the counter reflex of the serotopal palsy and the oglibidol, the boglibidol, the soglibidol, and the moglibidol. And we would categorize these things as explanatory to the behavior of a feces. What the fuck is a feces?
Oh, you have. Wait. Go up. It says by talking about your egg libido. The L is not supposed to be in yours.
You're seeing it though. So, wait.
No, if you go up above,
Wait, where are you looking? Like page 51?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could do that, for instance, by talking about it. The L's not supposed to be there. It's
We found
libido
another fuck up.
and reconscious.
Egg
What are you
libidol.
fucking talking about?
But we also have the og libidol, the bog libidol, the sog libidol, and the mog libidol.
This is
And
libido in mine.
I still want to know, what the fuck is a fishy?
There's in the back, there is a dictionary.
It doesn't mean it's going to cover all of it. Do you have fishy in your book?
Yes, I do.
Because that does not exist for me in any real dictionary that I can find on Google. Fishy is not a word.
Preservation, yeah. What's a fish?
A fishy. I just think of like a dumb way to say fish.
Okay, I'm looking at FG. F becomes okay. It doesn't have it.
Journey, you are dramatizing what Hubbard called the glee of insanity, said Professor Kakon.
This doesn't make so. This is all libido. The sog libido. Yours has libido.
Libidol.
What's libidol?
I don't know. I think it's a fuck up. I don't think they meant to put that.
And what's a mog? What's a sog? What's a bog?
I think he's
What's
literally saying.
I
think he's saying I could quote these authorities which didn't exist, and I could just make up nonsense and how we would categorize them. So I think he's using those as examples of nonsense words.
Oh, great. But
never mind the already existing nonsense words.
Oh, brother.
As a person becomes unable to recognize the isness of things, he can't get jokes anymore. Huh?
I can get jokes.
I don't need to understand isness for that shit.
It's because you made up a bunch of nonsense and then made people believe, and then now they don't know reality from fake
bullshit.
Yeah.
By the way, here's a random thing I've learned about alter isness. When I spoke to Chris Shelton and got some definitions from him, he mentions, Hubbard mentions that as isness is viewing something entirely as it is and causing it to vanish. It's supposed to relate to like the quantum state of all the atoms in the object. So you're supposed to be able to see the object at such a microscopic quantum level. That's when it'll as is and vanish.
Okay, they're just making up crap. That's all.
Bottom of page 55. Once in a while, when somebody's just about to kill you or cut your throat or eat you up or arrest you or do something of the sort, you get an enormous flash of isness, a recognition of the situation. Boy, it is real. Gulp. A moment after that, you're not likely to get or postulate an immediate reaction of not isness. A fellow will flare up and daze from isness to not isness very swiftly in a sudden emergency.
I think they're just making up shit now. They have been for some time, and fear.
Page 56, second paragraph. We have a brief objective process. Would you like to read it?
Oh my gosh! Have him touch a few walls. You just have him go around and touch walls for a little while, and all of a sudden he'll say, "It's a wall," and right then he feels much better.
And this is the true insanity of Scientology processing.
So I was trying to just find the list of like how many isness there are. And
answer is as is, not is.
So what I found is that, of course, as a person becomes unable to recognize the isness of things, he can't get jokes anymore, like you said. And then there's an alter isness. Then the next stage down is as isness, is alter isness, right? Then you go down. Where is it? not isness, and then there is a category of just plain isness. This is great. I feel the wisdom. Like, and then now alter isness, not isness, and isness would be then the categories which can be aberrated. But remember, these are not basically aberration. They become aberration only when they go entirely beyond the ability of the person to re-recognize as isness. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. Half that's been going in one ear and out the other.
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god. Page 58. Starting at indicated processes. It continues throughout the entirety of page 59 and into half of page 60.
What part of the body could you accept? Give me another part of the body you could accept. There are tremendous calm lags on this. You could say, how would it have to be altered for you to accept it? Or what would it be fine? What would it be fine to have
I know, I
acceptance
hate the
about
wording
this
of
body?
questions.
Then we can turn around and say, what's the acceptance level? Acceptance level defined is the degree of a person's actual willingness to accept people or things, monitored or determined by his consideration of the state or condition that those people or things must be in for him to be able to do so. That makes no sense.
What distance could your face tolerate to a Thetan? Probably about 50 yards. What the fuck kind of questions are this? I'm sorry, that question makes no sense. What distance could your face tolerate to a Thetan? So are they saying that the Thetan is the one doing the tolerating? Or is your face tolerating?
It's your face tolerating.
But I thought the Thetan
Because you
ran
don't
the
have
body.
a mind. You should no longer have a mind. So
Clearly, it's going to be
your
fucking
body,
mush
your
by the
finger
end of this.
tolerating the pain of touching a wall and then going, oh, that's a wall.
The pain of touching a wall.
It's just keep touching until you realize it's a wall. Then you're cured.
Then you're just going to be like, oh my god, I feel so much better. I've had such wins. I know what a wall is.
I know. Oh my gosh, I've been touching a wall this whole time.
Oh my god. Phone. Touching.
Oh, here's the list. As isness, alter isness, not isness, and isness. All cases fall into these categories.
So we have 4.
Yep. And then, of course, chapter 6 is isness.
Isness.
The reality, yeah. And
Hold
that
on,
is
wait.
reality.
Now that you simply say something is there and then perceive that it is there, last paragraph, page 61, means simply that you have put something there and perceive that it is there. That's what it means. It is no less an isness. That nobody is there to agree with you at the time you do this does not reduce the fact that you have created an isness. It is an isness. It exists. It exists not just for you. It just exists, you see. Now, if you were to desire that persisted, you would then have to go through a certain mechanical step. You would have to make sure that you did not perfectly duplicate it. That is, create it again in the same time, in the same space, with the same mass and the same energy, because it would no longer be there. So you're just assuming that people are just like automatically creating objects out of nothing?
Duplicate it.
Perfectly duplicate it.
This makes no sense.
But what have you done really when you've done that? You've just taken a thorough look. And what you create will vanish if you simply look at it. I've looked at my coffee mug and my computer. Where the fuck are they going? Unless you pull this trick. Unless you pull the trick that it is alterable and that you have altered it. Now, if you say that you have altered it and now that you have forgotten the exact instant it was made and the character of it, of course, then can persist. Because you can look at it all you please with your first look, you might say, and it won't vanish. Forgotten the exact instant it was made. Professor Kakan said, Geek, you gave one answer. Continue giving more answers. Continue until you have a new realization.
That's the thing. It's so auditing is so suggestible that
Fucker pulling 2.5
here
fucking
I
TRs on me.
swear, because you have been audited so many times to get to this point, to where it's just, yeah, that's true. Like, you're gone, man. You're just, it's.
For instance, if we looked at the front of a room and saw an object, we would simply have to look at it and conceive ourselves to have made its exact duplicate or counterpart, which is to say, conceived ourselves to have made it. No more. No. So I have to. So if I'm looking at my phone, I have to imagine making another phone.
Yes.
And of course, it will get rather thin. What will get thin? To some who are having a rough time with conditions of existence, it will first get brighter and brighter and brighter, and then get thinner and thinner and thinner, and it'll disappear. For isn't auras like a symptom of a migraine?
Yeah.
Fuck.
But that's pretty funny to think you see two, and then it all of a sudden disappears. That
Like
there was
you
really
have one,
only one.
you have two, and then they cancel out like matter and antimatter.
Yep. And this is Scientology.
God. Like, just looking into this makes me realize how little I truly understand.
Uh-huh.
I thought I knew a decent amount. I know about probably I understand probably about not even 1%.
No. And I think you need to be brainwashed to understand more deeply.
Is it weird to say that if I didn't have to spend my own money, and if I could go in under a pseudonym, I would do Scientology courses purely to know what the experience is like?
No, that's not insane, because I want to do the pure earth.
You want to die?
No, but I want to. I know there's a process that they say there, goes through, but everyone that talks about the pure earth don't talk about any exams, any type of medical monitoring.
No, they don't, because they're not fucking
No,
doctors.
but here's the thing. You're supposed to have a sign off, especially if you're underage.
Yeah.
If something were to happen. So a person in 2019, a 9-year-old, she's 14 this year, 14 last year, did the pure earth at the Sac Award.
Okay.
And according to records, when I looked through it and everything, you get a doctor sign off.
Yes, the doctor is usually one of theirs.
Exactly. But that means you did an exam. Pre-exam. Is there an exam afterwards, during? What is going on? Because everyone just says, yeah, I'm just in the sauna, blah, 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 and I take this whatever vitamin bomb and do all this other stuff, the exercise.
McCalmag.
Yeah. But they do this huge, like, they up the milligrams of certain vitamins. And not only niacin, but like other vitamins throughout the whole process.
Yep.
Yeah.
They wait until the dosage that you are currently on does not produce any effects.
Right. And the whole thing to practice medicine without a medical degree blows my mind that they still do this. And it really needs to be brought to the medical board.
Yep.
Or at least review. Because that's why I want to go through the whole system. Because I'll be asking those questions.
I will gladly avoid the Purif, but I will do everything else. Hell, I wouldn't mind actually something I want to get my hands on that I cannot seem to find anywhere. Is the training exercises used to be able to work the e-meter? Like if you look at the golden age of tech,
the auditing, to become an auditor.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
have the class 0 to class 4 like packets of fucking tech bulletins, but I'm talking about the actual hands-on exercises.
Yes.
If you look up the Golden Age of Tech present, I think it was the first presentation. They have videos of that's where that's where I first learned about buttons, pushing buttons. And so it's like if what is it, if something on the meter isn't reading,
Hmm.
then you say something like, on the question of such and such a question, is there anything that is misunderstood? Is there anything that's been invalidated? Is there anything that's been suppressed? And it goes through just this entire list of buttons. That's where I first learned about those, because they come in these books with
Yeah.
with the answers on them and the questions and all this shit. And I want it because it would give me so much fucking information.
So, literally, Surge,
Yeah.
have you seen any of his videos that cover auditing?
I have the only video I ever saw of Surge's was one he did with Aaron about children in auditing, where when they first learned about routine 0A and 0B, which are fucking gruesome.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what videos you're referring to.
I thought I saw a couple of different ones that he touched on a little with what an auditor does and how he reads it
Uh-huh.
and what he does if this is read. And specifically what he writes down, because it has to be perfect. The auditing session of the auditor and what you're getting out of the PC. So he would be a great person to reach out to because he was an auditor. He was,
Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting to me too to see certain, graduating class. Here's your certification saying you can now audit children.
Mm-hmm.
You can audit, or like even co-auditing, which blows my mind. But there was this guy that can now do class 5 and child auditing, and then there's other ones that you can audit the upper level. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
There's different classes you can audit.
yeah, you can you're promoted technically. And I can only know that it gets so much harder to audit a specific way and to get it right, not skip a beat.
I know, seriously, like that single-minded focus on not single-minded focus, because you're bouncing between the PC and the meter, but the fact that
you're hyper focused
on the needle, and instant reads. You can't count it as reading if it does it after the statement, if it does it before the statement. You have to do it precisely at the end of the auditor's question. It has to read at that precise moment, otherwise it doesn't count.
Right.
Cognitive bias.
If it's still reading, you have to go. You
have to flatten it.
You cannot move on from that one question. You have to say the question again.
Is there an earlier similar time?
Yep. In the same way, and it's it's just that whole process of whether the door is locked or not. You cannot end a session.
That's another thing.
Blows my mind that is you're in captivity. You are held prisoner.
Model session. There's a bulletin called model session, which I have looked at plenty of times. And one of the things, the PC is seated in the chair furthest from the door.
Yep.
That was the first thing that I read in that document that set off red fucking flags everywhere.
Yep. You're not even allowed to ask to go to the bathroom.
I want to say you
You
can
can
go
say,
to the bathroom
I
if
need
it's
to go to
at
the bathroom. Yeah,
if the process is
can't.
at a flattened point.
Yeah. The auditor has to have specific rules to that. If they're in the middle of something that's not being cleared,
Yep.
they can't.
Nope.
Doesn't matter if you've been in there for 6 hours.
Because then it's a
They
somatic.
can't end it. You have not ended the session. I don't know the verbiage, but
The process is still biting.
it blows my mind.
Yep.
And there's so many different auditing handling, sec checks,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all just therapy helping you.
Therapy.
It's all criminal to me. And then you get through this shit. No wonder the courts say, like, we need an interpretation.
Yep.
But all the bulletins should strictly be as is, literally what they say. They're orders. They are considered orders, commands, and you better follow. This shit is mind warping. This is just like circling and be like, did you get that? Did you get a misunderstand word? Now do a clay demo.
Oh my god.
This
fucking
is
drama.
the upper. This is you already went through, and
This is past the Congresses.
Yes.
This is an ACC level thing.
But that's what I'm saying. This is like, no, this is the same grade. That's why I was like, no. We need to get into this if you think it's a different level. Because we're halfway through the book. Or maybe. Yeah, no, maybe a third. But I'm serious. It goes into the 4 conditions of existence, which that's when you find the non-condition. Yeah.
Wait, what are the 4 conditions of existence? Oh, wait, is it the fucking isness shit?
No. Oh, yes. Well, it's how much in the way of processing could we get just out of the concept of isness? Just that one datum. Well, actually, we could get a very great many. That's the simple bit. The formula of communication, cause, distance, effect.
Yeah.
The most elementary statement of it.
I was about to continue that with intention, attention, duplication, and understanding. That is the comm cycle.
Yep.
I hate the fact that I know this, but I also like the fact that I know this. It feels weird to enjoy this.
Yeah, because I know it too by the non-existent, the non-X is what they call it.
Yep.
And it's like you can literally have a person be a non-X. What are you doing? And that's what I see, like this parasocial, like what community you belong to, all this weird stuff that I'm like, I feel very weird going into a chat and then them having all this parasocial experiences, hate it or like it, they like this person, but then going in chat rooms, going to Reddit, going to Discord, and having so much investing in others that you become this what's acceptable, what's not. You're non-X, you're, you know what I mean? I'm gonna like hyper focus into there's this one and then there's a duplicate and then is the duplicate really there and then I'm gonna make it all despair. That's what it gets into me in my mind. Especially after reading this, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. I can move away from some of it, but I don't need to make the announcement that I'm no longer following you.
Yeah.
That's just that's weird to me. that's
Yep.
that's too much of this. I'm just like, yeah.
Do you ever look at the? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying the experiences of a Thetan during a period of time between the loss of a body and the assumption of another. See a history of man by
Oh
and
God!
pick up
If you don't
another baby.
understand this
They
nonsense,
pick up another. Oh yeah.
look at the other nonsense where they talk about the weepies and the boohoos and the fucking all the incidents that happened to you when you were a Thetan. And
Yep.
what was it? Oh, and the clam. Don't forget the clam hand.
That's why we have saltwater tears. It's science. It's the truth. All right, Scooter Mom. Have a great night.
I'm gonna be
Bye,
honest. I'm
Heather.
probably gonna head to bed too because I gotta get up in
Yeah,
like
you're
7 hours.
Yeah, no, I would love to dive deeper into
We
this.
definitely have to do this again.
I just don't know how much I can do at each time if we're really gonna repeat our page.
No, I understand.
So,
Oh God! Quick thing. Page 93.
no.
Page 93, like first main paragraph, not broken paragraph. The first line of it. You've got an isness. You have an ashtray. So my brain immediately went, you're going to scream at it.
Yep.
But apparently you don't want the ashtray anymore. So you just have to as it.
Yep. You have to pretend it's not there and make it disappear. Because you're moving things with your mind. Yep. It talks about a perfect duplicate. Gone. See, again. I'm telling you. Yeah, it talks about a perfect duplicate gone. You haven't got an ashtray anymore. To follow an isness with an as-isness brings you into an actual non-isness right there. Did you hear that?
Sorry, I'm emailing Serge.
Okay.
So I put just a quick thing. Let me know what you think of this. Hello, Serge. My name is Holly. I run a YouTube channel called The Scientology Geek where I blah, 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 blah. Part of my research involves understanding the auditing process in more detail from an auditor's perspective. I'm trying to look more into the actual hands-on practices done during academy training, but I cannot find them. I've seen them mentioned in the first Golden Age of Tech video during the demo portion, but would love to get more info about these finer details. I'm wondering if you'd ever be willing to talk about this topic, especially due to your experience in the academy.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, cool. Continue. What were you saying? Sorry.
Okay. So about the ashtray.
Uh-huh.
So you've got an isness, you have an ashtray, you don't want the ashtray anymore. So the one operation, a correct one as far as you are concerned, if you just really didn't want it anymore, would be simply to do an as-isness, a perfect duplicate, gone. You haven't got an ashtray anymore. To follow an isness with an as-isness brings you into the actual not-isness right there.
Sure. That made sense.
Yep. Because you immediately go into the non-existence. Yeah.
Professor Kakan just policy referenced me, and so now I'm trying to find it. 27 October. Okay, so volume 1, page 983. Sources of trouble. Persons who want to be processed to see if Scientology works as their only reason for being audited have never been known to make gains as they do not participate. News reporters fall into this category. They should not be audited. This is PTS. PTS
Yep.
type F.
Yep, because you're gonna pull it in.
I did not know there were
And then
that
you're gonna
many
stub your
versions of
toe. And
PTS.
you stubbed your toe because you pulled a reporter in. I got the concept.
You definitely do.
It's just this shit is like
It just doesn't make sense.
you said 5 words in one day, or like yeah.
But all right. I don't want to save that.
Yeah, it goes into the reactive bank of past physical pain or discomfort re-stimulated in present time.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed. It is almost 1 a.m. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go to bed.
We definitely have to get on live again because I'm having so much fun with this.
Yeah, this is like I'm like, oh no, about the gradient. It's the same shit over and over.
I was about to say you're gonna understand my side of this.
That's what I'm like. It's same weird shit.
You prefer the buildings.
That's
I prefer the bullshit.
well, it's because people are so complicated, and I won't fully understand person's motives or intentions, even though it's written why their intentions are like this. But this is a mind fuckery. That's like,
Yes,
did you get that? Did you pass a misunderstood word? No, I passed a misunderstood paragraph.
About 7 pages back.
Yeah, it's like, no, to form a sentence, there needs to be certain ones, and which one is the verb, which one's the noun, what are we doing? It makes no sense.
You don't know when half of them are NES and in NESS.
As isness, alter isness, and now you have a non-as is. Like,
This is
got
what
it.
Hubbard does to
I
your brain.
understood everything you just said, and then the verbiage is this.
Like a consideration being a consideration. Or considering a consideration.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Yep. All right. Have a good night. Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you
Thanks for joining me.
I had fun. Thank you for having me on Journey. This was
I'm
awesome.
no longer trespass. All right. Bye, guys.
Best.